Hello, Internet! 'Tis I, your favorite drag queen turned GM, Shelly Von Miller here. That's right, I'm in drag. This is a sponsored video from Skeletal Games. I was able to get a free key to their demo for Spill the Beans, which was featured in Steam's Next Fest, and I cannot wait to play the game. It's like a whodunit RPG type of situation, and I'm very, very excited. It's so cute. I love this. Let's do a new game because we haven't played this before. Oh my god. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking, outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. Ooh. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters. Mere echoes of what was taken from you. What will soon be yours? Again. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe, the ones you're about to drag into a complicated criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know what, after everything you've been through, this was the only option. Welcome to Artifice. Hail and well met. People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes, Artifice, where 100 years ago the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled over into ours. But now, those spirits work 9 to 5s. Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. And an unmagical human like yourself, among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional. Exceptionally dull, and exceptionally underestimated. No matter how much you try to fit in, to love this place and all its wonders, it never reciprocated. All it did was take. All it left you with was emptiness. So why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you, fill that gnawing emptiness, then leave it behind forever. Luckily, you know what you need and exactly where to find it. The Familiar, a downtown cafe noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And conveniently enough, they're hiring so desperately that they aren't asking for experience or background checks. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters. It really does. It rarely does. Oh, okay. Ooh. Forename, Shelly. Surname. Ooh, nope. Von Miller. I'm a self-motivated artisan. Let's do artisan. Who loves a job well done. Who loves destroying my enemies. Long walks on the beach. Myself. Justice. Arcane power. Money. Social interactions. Soft skills. Good listener. Expert articulator. And surprisingly, okay snack fetcher. I use she, her pronouns, and my education and experience don't fucking matter. Oh, we can change my hair. Okay, we're a white lady. What can I say? Sorry, white people. Let's do this. Can I change the hair? Ha ha ha. Okay, there we go. This is more like it. Let's see. Oh, there's a hijabi. Oh, I love it. Okay, I love that. I like that hair color. A few days later, you're face to face with the Familiar. While its neighbors are all dust and drywall, its facade seems unbroken, even if the varnish is peeling at the edges. Interesting. For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window. Then you spot a silhouette in the window who flicks its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. You need to get in, get out, and for the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take the blame. But you can really do all those things without running into but can you do any of those things without running into complications? You've already reached the front door. You can hardly turn back now. Yay! The cafe laid bare before you is almost indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Oh, look at the yarn and the little paw prints. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wall art, well kept but well worn down. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct towering over 2 meters tall stops wiping down the counter and turns to greet you. Oh, he's so cute. Or they're so cute. Ah, you must be Shelly. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me not to meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realize how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals, just worn gray stone, flowering moss, and that tiny bluebird nested on her shoulder. I'm Sloan from the emails. Lovely to have you on board. Did you get here all right? I saw your address was uptown, and I know we're a wee bit out of the way. Before you get the chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. For a moment, you worry that she might have pulled your arm out of its socket. Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule is pretty packed. What with your introduction, and I barely found time to fix breakfast for Adam. Oh, hang on. This is Adam. Adam, say hello to Shelly. She's your new coworker, so be polite. Adam's usually my only company out front, so it'll be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do, but after 6 years of working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day. Not that you have to come in that early, of course. We're only meant to start at 8, but it pays off. It does. As Sloan trails off, you have a chance to put your plan into motion. You spent a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings and just how easy they are to manipulate. Ooh. If someone's in a good mood, they probably think better of you and suspect you less. Then again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. But what's best for Sloan? Better make the first impression count. Shelly? Oh, I worried you with the 5 a.m. thing, haven't I? Just want to stress that you don't have to do that, honest. Those extra hours must be worth it. This place is spotless. Oh, that's sweet of you. I try my best. I try to bring the best out of the old familiar. Good to know that other people actually notice. The lights flicker overhead before Sloan can finish her sentence. Oh, sorry, I thought that was fixed. Should call the electromancer once I get a free moment. Anyway, pack schedule. I've got pastries in the oven, then a delivery after. Come on, let's get you in uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Sloan strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. It takes 3 steps to match just one of hers. The kitchen, built from cool metal and right angles, is warm with the smell of apricots. You breathe it in while Sloan roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. I'll say this now. Sorry about the fit. She hands you an apron like her own, exactly like her own, actually. And that it's far too big for you. It's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. You're your one should be here tomorrow. I hope this is alright in the meantime. Sure, if anything, it's amusing. Great. How are you going to steal a recipe while wearing this? Thanks a million, Shelly. Glad you're seeing an upside. Here's your name tag, too. As you wrap yourself in an oversized apron and pin on your name tag, Sloane smiles. It's a small, sad smile that weighs down her whole face. Look, I'm sure not everything you've heard about this place has been grand, but once you put in a little elbow grease, she really shines. And I've got a lot of elbow grease. I just wanted to say that. You wouldn't be here if I didn't think you had the same drive. Your application told me that much. Although, what was the phrase you used? Surprisingly okay, snack fetcher, right? I know these roles can be challenging, but I hope you didn't think we'd treat you like that. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really settled it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for. Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Oh, pastries. Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager, I should say, ought to be ready. Big gray door on the right. Best of luck. You take 6 steps towards the office, a hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Beyond lies Fred, the owner, the one from the newspaper, the one whose recipe you're here for. I love the cat tree. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of the room, just a few steps away. You knew the recipe was protected, but not like this. The safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. It should be locking up gold bars instead of, a recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering just how you're going to crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny gold-eyed tuxedo cat rouses from a cat bed on top of the safe. He blinks stickily, then suddenly glares at you, fur on end, eyes aglow. Don't touch my shit! He spits the words at you like darts, crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts to get heavier, as if brewing into a thundercloud. Who sent you? If you think you're going to best me in my own domain, then wait. You're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as a power cut, the light in his eyes blinks out, and the pressure lifts with it. The cat's eyes leaping smoothly from the safe on the door to the desk. Sorry, that was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the Familiar. Good to have you on board. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter on the admin. You're lucky to be still be young, human, because after the 1st century, things get... Sloane wanted you onboarded, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist types this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills, we need drive and spite. So that's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Didn't you expect I'd be here? Crystal clear, boss. That's what I like to hear. So long as we're all on the same page, you and I will get on fine. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This isn't going to work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloane. Okay, that's a little weird, but sure. As if on cue, Sloane enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. Morning, Fred. Everything all right in here? Thought I heard a bit of shouting? Oh, no, it's all fine. I've just been giving Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Giving Shelly the lowdown on the familiar. Our history, what we do, all the good stuff. Sloane gazes at Fred, tracing the tiredness in his eyes. Her smile dims a little. Oh, that's nice. I can join you now, if you'd like. We can, go over the finer details together. If you've got the time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloane puts the kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag again and reads it under his breath. So, Shelly, let's get down to business. We're open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end of closing. Anything after that is overtime. I can give you the forms. Aprons go on the hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Oh, and if you're going to excuse yourself... And on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as two different people, but two halves of one business. Efficient, organized, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be the most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me any She cuts off again by her She gets cut off again by her phone. Oh, excuse me, Dave! Hi, Sloane. Just unloading the van out back, so there's your heads up. Thanks, Dave. I'll be right there. Ah, I should be off. Need to give my signature for the deliveries. Thanks again, Fred. Oh, Shelly, before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. Must be dying to learn what makes the Familiar's coffee so irresistible. But it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get into too arcane with you. It's more of a background thing, like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, it will still be working its magic back here. In a drill-proof, bomb-proof, 6-gauge safe, which only me and Sloane can open. Also, I cursed it. So it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course. Oh, Sloane offered to show me the recipe earlier. I get it. You gotta protect what's yours. Increase Fred's suspicions. Create an opportunity for Fred to act suspiciously in front of others. Alright, we're gonna roll a dice. We're gonna roll a d6. So 1 to 2 is the first one, 3 to 4 is the second one, and 5 to 6 is the third option. Alright, so I'm gonna roll this d6. It's a 3, so it's the second. Oh, Sloane offered to show me the recipe earlier. Oh, did she? That's nice of her, nicer than necessary. Maybe she meant it metaphorically. Hope she did. He looks back at the venerable vault behind him as if checking that it's still there. Can never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week that Raphael Hendricks wrote off his beauty store chain? It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding it isn't easy. I mean, ideally, we'd have an accountant, a consultant, another chef, but we've got you. And you're one hell of a good start. Especially with our regulars. You'll meet them soon enough. You should catch up with Sloane. Anything you need, I'll be back. Anything you need, I'll be back here, going over these, papers. As you leave the office, Fred paws a single sheet of paper from the files of his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. Not a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. In the doorway next to Sloane is a uniformed courier, a human just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Say, you're Shelly, aren't you? Sloane was just telling me about you. All good things, I promise. Mostly good. Dave gives Sloane a package and gives you a conspiratorial eyebrow waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Oh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Hey, if I come back once I'm off, that's one customer right there. Guaranteed. Sloane breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey, Shelly. Have a good day. First day, yeah? Thanks, I will. He might not be here for it, but if all goes well, today's going to be good. That's the spirit. Any more for me, Dave? Just a couple of bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. Are you sure I could carry... I'll catch you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet in the alley. Shelly, I'm so sorry about Fred. I know he must have overslept today. That's on me. You notice her hands are balled into fist. One so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. I just wanted your first day to be easy, but oh well. Let's get you behind the counter, shall we? There won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. I keep the house roast down here. She effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of coffee fills your lungs with a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? We should get a wee moment of breath now. Only one customer comes in this early, and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling around her eyes, and it dawns on you. This is the beginning to feel like a real job. Just as you finish that thought, the front door swings wide open, and your first customer skips in. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, lipstick, backpack. That dress must be bespoke, too. Pricey. As they draw close, though, you spot pointed fangs in their cheery smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted glasses. A vampire. Good morning, Sloane. Oh, I spoke too soon. Morning. Before you ordered, this is Shelly, our new barista. Oh, so you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some prime real estate going for cheap in Moonbow, if expansion's on your mind. Slow down. We're not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settles to a pout. Shelly, this is... I'm Jessie, with an I-E. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. Your apron's so big. I'm more for tailored fits myself, but I know that baggy looks have been catching on lately. Draws focus to the wearer being separate from their clothes. Oh no, it's nothing like that, just a supply chain issue. What'll it be this time, Jessie? A hot chocolate, please. And I'll have it with, whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, will that fit? Marshmallows, then whipped cream, then caramel and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies too? Give me one of everything, and 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Sloane's already off to one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes a pink bat-styled mug with her satchel, placing it on the counter as her eyes flick back to you. Even if Sloane and Fred aren't aiming for world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. So tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? job, really? A vampire peers deep into your eyes as if making out something in the distance. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So, Jesse, what brings you here on this lovely Monday morning? Are you trying out a new schedule? Oh, no. I'm meeting the board in person after this. I could use the energy boost. Ah, for your infamous internship. How's your family treating you then? The same way they treat everybody. If I could afford it, I'd be here to help the familiar instead. But then Fred's just like everyone else. He sees my last name, is Hendrix, and thinks I'm some sorceress corporate spy out to suck the proverbial blood from his business. Of course, the Hendrixes. Rich, powerful, and, most troublingly for you, magically talented. Jesse looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. Ooh. Create an opportunity for Jesse to act suspiciously in front of her. You know, Fred did say he's looking for a consultant. He did? I didn't think he'd have the prudence to... Well, if he's looking, maybe I could spare a few minutes before I go. Try not to let your family get you down, Jesse. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, that chance should come today. Fingers crossed. Sloane passes Jesse's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. Maybe this was a bit ambitious. But if I use the cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes. I should go. Thank you, Sloane. Shelley. I'll see you later. Jesse swipes their card, then their mug, making a beeline for a booth seat before the payment even goes through. They assemble their workstation in mere seconds, a sheet of papers, a stack of textbooks, and a predictably pink laptop. The mug stands vigilantly at a safe distance. Jesse was a surprise, but at least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in at the same time as... Before she can finish, the front door swings open, and a siren rolls into the room. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing on her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for a long overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here from my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises a smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Don't worry, Shelley, I'll handle this. Jessie shrinks back, arranging her books into a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards the counter, not noticing them at all. Now, Sloane, I know very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh, I didn't know you were coming. This is... But the siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell Shelley. I'm Shantae. I'm Alexandra Argyros. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a grimoire account, do you, Shelley? I'd love to give you proper credit in my post. How about a drink first before anything goes onto the internet page of yours? Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frappe with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top. Plus a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you have would be lovely. Thank you so much. I should have everything. Let me check in the back first. Shelly, could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left corner. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cookie? Ah, she's gone. In the silence, Alexandra's smile slides off her face. She sighs sharply through her nose. Are you alright? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared. But then you don't know who I am anyway, do you? Oh no, of course I've heard of you. Of course you have. Always happy to meet my fans. But don't bother being polite. I can tell you don't have any idea who I am. Sloane returns, hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. Should I expect your fans to start ordering these frappes in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. No, nothing so drastic. It'll just make a pretty picture to draw in the crowds. Algorithms will eat it up. Alexandra plucks the card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes the phone across it, and hands it back with a wink. There is a 30% tip attached. You know better than me about the social media stuff. Sloane, trust me, you've got a wonderful, marketable place here. What's not to love? Those donuts? Those menus? Alexandra turns around to gesture at the cafe, and her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? Oh no, Jessie. Alex, why did you pick today of all days to come in? Well, you might have known if you followed me on Grim. Forget it. Do you... Sloane puts the finished frappe to one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jessie. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. What an unfortunate coincidence. Well, let's both make sure it doesn't distract us from the task at hand, She plucks the frappe from the counter. You're not sure how anything that color could taste any better than tolerable. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos, then be on my merry way. The lighting's not ideal anyways, but I can fix it in post. Feel free to dim the lights. The switch is right there. Oh, so there is. I'll fiddle with it once I got the post written up. We both want to show the familiar in the best possible light, don't we? With a final smile, Alexandra takes her drink to the cafe's centermost table, posing it like an art exhibit. Jessie, still aback, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to her original form and slumps into her seat, eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on her wrist. Sloane returns after confirming they're okay. Sorry, I didn't think... Yeah, both of them at once. Complicated. They used to... She's cut off by the sound of a motorbike revving down outside, hurdling the arrival of your third customer. The person is a first, even for you, is someone whose body lacks anything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigilless? Although he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. A stiff dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. Grudge? Oh no. Grudge. Hey, how's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. Awkward. Okay. He reaches the counter undeterred. You're waiting for Sloane to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked in place. So you're the new barista? Good job on making it this far. Makes you one of the best, don't it? Ain't just the coffee you brew, it's your resolve. Can we take your order? Yeah, resolve. Well, let me tell ya, I know your type, and I know you're up to something. I can feel it I can feel it. Sloane, I'd like to order, thank you kindly. Let's put your new barista to the test. I'll have a coffee. A black coffee. From the pot. Doesn't have to be, yeah. I think we might, Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Shelly, why don't you handle this one? It'll be good for your training. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, your name's Shelly? What's your name? Shelly? Okay, I think I got it. Shelly. It's so that's to be the name of my nemesis. I'm Grudge Nichols. And you'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you this job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. Your coffee making halts at this revelation. You had this whole rant prepared just because you got this job with an application like that. You're making it obvious why they didn't pick you. Hitting me right in my non-existent heart. You're gonna make a fine nemesis, that's for sure. Much as it pains me, physically. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube, then stirs the coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had loose in one of his pockets. Nice try, Shelly. But I know coffee when I see it, so there is no way this... He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. It's... Damn it. Just like usual. How'd you get it right so quick? So bitter. So energizing. Fine. I'll hand it to you, Shelly. Looks like you're real lucky. That's a decent cup of coffee. But beware, I'm watching you. He takes the cup and spins dramatically away from the counter. It's then he finally spots Jessie. Jessie. Grudge. They immediately hug. It's good to see you. Why didn't you pipe up earlier? I was waiting for you to finish. That sounded quite personal, Grudge. Are you sure that was a good idea? Oh, yeah. You heard that? Sorry. It was just a personal... It doesn't matter. How's your job going? I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Sloane's made some great cookies today. And I'd be happy to buy... Oh, no. Shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away all conclusively like I just did. Grudge, you haven't even paid yet. And I admire your candor, but Are you sure Shelly's your nemesis and not Fred? Ugh, Fred's a real villain, that's true. But a nemesis, that's different. Gotta be personal. But you don't know Shelly, who Shelly is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry as practice? A rival? Having a lovely time at... No, I used lovely last time. They'll think that's insincere. What if I... Oh, I almost forgot. Alex, how are you doing? All good over there? Reggie, I didn't see you come in. What a coincidence to run into both you and Jess today. Well, it's funny you're here, actually. There was something I wanted to... I'll just talk to you later. You too, Jess, if you're busy. Sorry, I should pay for this. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter, hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'll be back. Got too caught in the whole confrontation to give you your money. Even if most of it's going straight to Fred's pockets. Ugh. But I'll say this. I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about you. So long as I come here, I'm going to do my damnedest to figure out what. Is it just me, or is Alexandra trying to ignore you? Ignore me? Why would she? No. Don't be sowing seeds of doubt in me, Shelley. She's just busy, that's all. Without another word, he perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jesse swap looks of confused concern. Good job, Shelley. Now would be a good moment to put his purchase into the register. As she's halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump up onto the counter next to you. How's it going out here? No need to panic. This isn't a performance review, just checking things are. He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Sloan, why don't you come with me for a moment? Been meaning to have a chat. But we still need to... She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of the drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. Till's out of paper notes. Could you grab some more? Oh, sure. We'll make sure we're giving Grudge the right change. I'll be back in a minute. A silence returns to the room, and so does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. I'm just saying, it's our best regulars. If our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is going to want to stay. With a sigh, Sloane pulls a large wad of notes from the nearby lockbox. The full weight of this morning's events seems to sit on her shoulders. They're good, reliable customers, and sure, things can be tricky, but we've got Shelley now. With a little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bands already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. She side-eyes a corkboard near the walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there, each marked with a reason for a band and vindictive felt tip. I know, you're right. It's just, we don't exactly have a recipe for success here, do we? I did want to talk about our recipe, actually. You know, since we've got a new hire, and can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down cost. Now, I noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up, and I figured, wait, no, shouldn't leave Shelley on her own for too long. Not the warmest welcome, is it? I'll go. But he still needs his change. A sudden knock on the back door stops her from following after Fred. Oh, Dave's back. Let's deal with that first, one thing at a time. Despite promising to supervise you, Fred ignores you as he slinks past the counter and jumps onto a nearby table, muttering to himself, "Regulars, it's gonna be a long climb from here to anything stable." While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start rifling through your bag, making sure you can take the opportunity to launch the heist. Fred's ruminations are cut short by Jesse, who approaches him with a thick stack of papers. "Hello, Frederick. Rumor is you're expanding the familiar. Very exciting. I'd love to get on board. I've had thoughts on how to optimize drink prices." "Oh, Jezebel, that's kind of you, but we're taking expansion slow and steady. You know the pitfalls we could fall into pretty well, don't you?" "Frederick, I'm being serious here. You and Sloan have seen the contracts I've drawn up, and given your situation, you shouldn't be turning anyone away." At this point, Grudge takes notice of this conversation, silently shaking his head. "Look, Jezebel, if you've already got contracts for me to sign, you've got the wrong idea about working with me. I thought you would have learned that after last time." "Oh, never mind. Then." Jesse's face crumbles. They walk away. Clearly dejected, Grudge rushes to comfort them, skeleton hand on the shoulder. What's he doing out here?" "It looks like he's just contemplating." "What's he even got to contemplate?" "I've lived as long as him. I'm sure you'd have plenty to regret." "Right. Who's messing with the lights?" You turn to spot Alexandra fiddling with the dimmer switch that you pointed out earlier. "Oh, of course! I should have just kept my photos washed out instead of trying to make your cafe look better. My mistake." She tries to turn the knob back, but the lights don't stop flickering. "Alexandra, I've got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. Could you leave me in peace for just a moment? And don't call me Freddy ever again." "Bigger things? What bigger things, Fred? We're all you got. Maybe start acting like it." "Grudge, that's not a very smart thing to say, is it?" Here it is, right on cue, the shouting match. It's then that Sloan wanders into the main room, a huge wad of banknotes clutched tight in their hand. "Finally, Grudge, I've got it. Just give me a tick." Sloan stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. As she registers the flickering lights and a sheepish Alexandra near the switch, her face falls. "Oh no, the electrics aren't good, Alexandra. Let me deal with that." Alexandra watches Sloan open the light switch to attempt some hasty repairs, but her face curdles when she sees the stack of bills still in her hand. "Could everyone just wait? I'm out here for 2 seconds and I'm already getting swamped by my own customers. What I gotta do for a little peace, huh?" "No. We've got a new hire today, and if this is the impression we're giving her, we'll be doing her a disservice. Now, you'll excuse me, I've got a new hire to attend to without any more interruptions." As Fred starts to turn around, you scramble for your bag, knowing your milliseconds to execute your plan. How fortunate, then, that you sowed a little more chaos in advance. After a second or two, Sloan finds the energy or the courage to start approaching Grudge. There should be, here." "Huh?" Jesse looks down at their stack of papers, gloom gathering on their brow. "So you're not even going to look at my proposals?" "If you want to talk, Jezebel, we'll do it later." Just then, the lights turn off completely, Whether a result of Alexandra's meddling or Sloane's attempt to undo it, you aren't going to waste time wondering. You've done enough to distract everyone. You're not going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into the bag, and in an instant, all the light and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic now pulsing from your cozy cozy sleep-tight blackout blanket. Just as the light fades, you notice Sloane's money fluttering to the ground. An extra few hundred wouldn't hurt, but you didn't come here for the money. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. But you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Having said that, you're still wearing a very large apron, which could be an impediment to said plan. What to do? Let's roll. So, odds, take it off, evens, keep it on. That is a 6 on the die, so we're going to keep it on. Deciding that it will be too much hassle to remove, you press on aproned. Step 1, take 3 steps into the kitchen, then 6 to the right. You paw for the door handle and slip into the office, trying not to trip over your oversized apron. Step 2, 1, 2, 3 steps, and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. Step 3, reach into your bag and give your can of Curse Be Gone a shake. A few sprays on the safe and the words are already flaking off. But there's something else, a sound cutting through the silence, like lightning crackling, like lightning. Fred's casting a counterspell. You don't have long. Step 4, spin the wheel, heave the safe door open, feel around inside until you've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist and did a decent job of it too. You're shaking. Outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe for stuffing it into your tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable lunchbox. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. Ooh, who should we try to pin this on? I think Alexandra or Grudge, I'm thinking. You exhale, but the sound is too clear. Fred's counterspell is taking hold. Even if you put all your weight on the safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. The best you can do is return as quickly and quietly as you can. As you take careful steps back to the counter, you try your best to control your breathing, to not let the exhilaration show. It's been so long. But as you reach the counter, your foot catches the edge of your apron and you trip as the darkness finally dissipates. An unwelcome reminder that you are not safe yet. You've got to find an exit in the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion somehow. As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding through the kitchen, crashing through the cat flap to the office. Is everyone okay in here? No one's hurt. Sloane catches you just as you regain your balance, saving you from toppling over onto the counter. Oh, Shelly, be careful. The light must have been disorienting. Just take a moment. Okay, I know how this looks. That's the last time I handle the lights, but I don't think blackouts usually come with spontaneous hearing loss. It is possible with light and sound enhancements. These glitches can happen, but it's rare. They are as dramatic as that. Jesse, we don't have any enhancements like that. This wasn't planned. Huh. The plot thickens. Wait, where'd Fred go? Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves! His eyes crackle gold and chains of light fly across the cafe. The front door, the windows, and the back door, no exits are spared. We could do this the easy way or the hard way, understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll just root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not messing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick, but is it really necessary to trap us inside your lovely cafe? If you wanted us to stay, you didn't have to do that. And what are you accusing us of exactly? Sitting perfectly still while your lights went weird? Fred, what's going on? While the lights were out, someone went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly, everyone's looking at everyone else's wide-eyed searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. Ooh. As Fred reaches to the end of his sentence, you notice his gaze lingers on Sloane before returning to the crowd. Grudge, who eyed you suspiciously before, briefly turns his attention to Alexandra. Most importantly, however, no one seems to regard you for very long. Perfect. But that means, no, this is fine. We can deal with it. It's all right. Well, good luck with that. I'll be on my way. Ha! Good luck with getting past my magic. I might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jesse's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for a weakness in the spellcraft. Frederick? This is utterly absurd. We've all got better things to do than play petty parts in your amateur theatrics. Yeah. How would you know if this one, if it's just one thief? What if it's a conspiracy of all of us finally getting our revenge? Yeah, that's smart to say. Dumbass. We don't have to act like vigilantes. I'll just call the police and... Enough! Enough! This place is sealed and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Thief, singular. Grudge. Because if it was any more, you might have actually succeeded. As for the ACPD, Sloane, fine, I'll call them. I'm betting they'll take their sweet taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this unsolvable. But I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime, so we are going to sit here like adults and get our facts straight. Understand? Now, did anyone notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? Might get this over with faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances before someone pipes up. Sloane? Why did you have to have so much cash with you? That looks a little strange in hindsight. Oh, I wanted to give Grudge his change. I just didn't have the time to pick out the right notes. Oh, they're still on the ground too. But Grudge always pays in coins. He'd never need a 20. It's just because, okay, Alexandra, so long as we're mentioning things that seem a little strange in hindsight, she says this while picking up the remaining notes from the ground. I was the one who stopped Alexandra from messing around with the lights. Maybe she short-circuited the electrics by accident. And what? That was a prelude to this? Just a fun little hint? You can't be serious. Shelley suggested it, so I thought it'd be fine. Jess, I didn't think you'd wanted to get in with Fred. After all that shouting matches we had, you wanted access to the heart of his business, huh? Metaphorically speaking. You really could have phrased that better, Grudgy. That's got nothing to do with this. I just got the impression that he needed more staff. Hey, if you wanted to steal from Fred, I'd support you. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have our recipe back within the next 1,000 years. There's no use trusting anyone here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Jessie, with the heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. I'm not an heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our femme fatale, although she hasn't killed anyone, probably. If it weren't for you, I'd take that. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Grudge, the obvious suspect. Too obvious, even if I'm not ruling anything out yet. So what? That makes me the hero detective? Yeah, don't even have a plucky sidekick or a hat. Sloane, the one you'd least expect. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you can't really be saying that Which brings us to our final suspect, Shelley. Your breath can't help but flutter as everyone's eyes suddenly turn on you. The red herring. I mean, it's obviously wasn't you. You're human. Got no magic, worked hard to get this job. You're in the clear. A cursory glance around the room tells you that not everyone believes him. So that's why she's going to find out who really did this. And everyone's going to be very polite and answer all her questions. What? Wait, she's the detective? I would have been perfect for this job. Although playing sidekick to Fred, yeah, bullet dodged. Fred, why would you choose Shelley over me? It's been 6 years. Do you still not trust me? That seems awfully convenient for both Shelley and Frederick. But could we just stay calm? Not keep shouting all the time? Can't keep spending my time with people who'd waste it on my behalf. Don't try to stop me when I leave. I'm with you there, Jess. Although I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, I know you're panicking right now, but we shouldn't do anything rash. There are customers, and this is Shelley's first day. Why would we... Her rising voice is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Hey, Dave! Hiya, Sloane. I got my very last packages out back, but there's these gold chains on the door. I think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yeah, I'm fine. We're just dealing with a burglary. I'll give you the details in a second. At the door. Oh, one of those days, huh? Is Shelley alright at least? Good question. Fred's just asked her to interrogate us. Oh, goodness. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we'll need that recipe. This is our best option for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this just confirms it. No, Grudge. Just you. Can we please not fight any already? We're not going to solve whatever this is by shouting. Yeah, it's getting a bit loud over the speaker. Shelley, what do you actually want to do? I don't know, this is a pretty bad first day. Oh. You don't think anyone here besides Sloane appreciated that reminder? Exactly. No one wanted things to turn out this way. We all agree on that, but we can still make it better. Hey, when I told you to have a good first day, did I jinx it? My bad. Look, are we doing this or not, Shelley? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, it could put you in a better position until you can make your getaway. Time to lean on the scapegoat part of your plan. So as he starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloane finishes her call with Dave before following with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloane. I'm going to check for clues in my office. Shelley, join me in a minute. Clues? I didn't hire a detective, but here we are. If there's anything I can do to help, please just ask. Oh, me too. Not sure if there's much I can offer besides moral support, but, you know, thought I'd say you can't leave till the delivery's done. Is all. Thanks, Dave. I think we could use the support while this gets sorted. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be. Then anything you need, just shout into the alley. Best not to keep Fred waiting. Maybe you'll be able to reason with him, calm him down a bit. I think he could use that right now. Asshole. You oblige her and enter the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. Yeah, a theft. Locked down the whole building. Makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? A locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone, you know that voice. Thin and sharp as wire, digging into you just as deep. But where? If it isn't urgent, that's not what I said, and you're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You'll solve it by yourself, really? You shouldn't expect miracles. We're just mortal, you know? Oh, excuse me, mostly mortal. A self-satisfied laugh crackles through the receiver. It bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like tinnitus. If you show your face in my business, I'll see you later, familiar. Ugh. Why didn't I expect anything else after dialing all those tiny keys too? Ah, Shelley, here already. As you probably heard, the ACPD is taking its sweet time. Big surprise. But we don't need them. We'll do the real work. Plan is, you'll find your prime suspect before the phonies before the ponies get here and mess everything up. You can do that, right? It's 1 in 4 logical deduction. Fred sneaks a not-so-subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for a self-motivated artisan like yourself. And you love social interaction. Wow. It really shows. Although, that's the first time I've heard it phrased so plainly. Right. Let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask? Hey, do you have the recipe? You did it, didn't you? Just confess. If you meant now, we promise we won't be mad. Ooh, let's roll for it. Let's roll D6. 1 to 2, first one. 3 to 4, second one. 5 to 6, third one. That is a 3 again. You didn't do it. You did it, didn't you? Just confess. Yeah, I tried that already. Didn't work. Good instincts, but we're going to need more than that to... He stops to breathe out as much tension he can manage. What we need is evidence. Eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of thing. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or how do you feel about the familiar? Or what's your relationship with Fred? You know. If that's what he wants while you're trapped here, that's exactly what he'll get. If you find us a prime suspect with a convincing case, I mean something thoroughly investigated, we can put things back to normal. Things are going to get complicated once he shows up too, so I'd appreciate having someone on my side when that happens. I know how this sounds. It's a dumb idea, but it's the best I've got right now. And if we don't do something, this place is going under. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Please. Your plan went off without a hitch until it didn't, but the boss doesn't suspect you. At least not yet. And if a real detective from the ACPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of the day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. So with that, your investigation begins, not to find who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. To be continued. Oh my god, that's so fun! I love it. The full release, you'll get to do the like who done it, like the pinning it on somebody part. I love this. Well, that was the demo for Spill the Beans. I am quite excited for it. I can't wait for the full release, which is going to be in 2025. And yeah, you can pick up your version of the demo and go through all the different interactions yourself on Steam. Links down in the linky part down below. And yeah, try to figure out who you're going to blame when the time comes for someone to spill the beans. Anyways, I've been Shelly Von Miller. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow for more content like this. And I love you guys very much, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye!